Hi friends, this week we're upcycling. So I thought a little bit about what we could upcycle for this week, and originally I thought I'd do something easy just to introduce you to what upcycling is, get used to it, find a good process on how to show you how to upcycle, but I changed my mind because this is YouTube. So I'm gonna do something challenging. So if you checked out UniCommunity on social media, then you may have run into an old project of mine, this mid-century styled coffee table. And if you read my blog, which I hope you did, on UniCommunity.com, then you may have seen that there was a bottom half to this coffee table that I did not upcycle. That being said, that bottom half has sat in my patio for a couple months now, and I think it's time to upcycle it. When I was thinking about what to do to this bottom half, originally, if you read my blog on UniCommunity.com, then you know that I wanted to turn one coffee table into two coffee tables. I changed my mind. With a little inspiration from Pinterest, I've decided to turn this bottom half of this coffee table into a bench. A cloth bench, a bench that has fabric over the top. And because, like I was saying, I'm on YouTube now and I gotta do things a little bit difficult. I gotta do things that are interesting. I'm going to use resin on the bottom half of the coffee table to really spice things up. Before we get started upcycling, I'd like to introduce you to my puppies because they may run in and out of the video and it would just distract you if you didn't know who they were. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my first baby, which is Pepper. All right, everybody, this is Pepper. He's my Chihuahua. He's my baby boy. I've had him since he was born. He just recently turned 10 in April, and he's the cutest, most handsomest baby ever. So if you see him run through the video, just know this is Pepper. And as much as you want my other dog to be named Salt, she's not. So get over it. Because I had to, because I didn't name her. But she's still cute and I love her so much. So without further ado, this is Sprite. Okay, everybody, this is my Akko Taco Sprite. She is a Shih Tzu and she can jump super high. She also likes to give us her paws. Again, she's not named Salt. She's named Sprite, like the soda. And I adopted her a few summers ago. I don't know. I've had her a long time. She's adorable, and I'm sorry that her hair is a complete mess right now. But this is Sprite. So now that you've met almost everybody, we'll get started with the upcycling. Here's the plan. I have the bottom half of the coffee table behind me. I'm thinking we go down to my second favorite place, Home Depot. From there, we are going to get a piece of plywood that we can throw on top of the coffee table. And then we're gonna go down to Joann's or Michael's or some other place, and we're gonna get some foam as a cushion and some fabric to throw over the top. This is the bottom half of the coffee table that I was referring to earlier. For the resin aspect of this project, I was thinking we could go ahead and drill some holes through the wood, avoiding the pocket holes that are already existing, and then fill those with resin. In order to drill the holes, there's something I have to keep in mind, and that is tear out. So I have this inch wide drill bit that I'm planning on using to drill the holes. And we're gonna use a technique that I've seen around using blue tape, and we're gonna tape it off here, drill the hole, and then hope that it came out clean enough. I don't need to drill any pilot holes because this drill bit came with an existing one, if you can see that. And so let's just give it a try. We're gonna tape off a few spots here and then we're gonna go for it. And also, do you see what I was talking about the puppies? They're just in the video. So let's give it a shot. I tried to move you in closer so you could at least mildly see what I'm going to do. So I have our glue tape here, and I'm just gonna choose a random spot because if I choose a particular spot, everything's gonna have to align with that spot. But we're going for more of a random, like Swiss cheese. We're going for a Swiss cheese moment, okay? So there's no pocket hole here, so we're just gonna go ahead and so yeah, let's do it. Oh, we did it! Okay, let me just show you what has happened. So, because of the type of drill bit this is, which I'm pretty sure we can now know that it's not meant for wood because of how poorly that worked. But you can see the piece of wood that I drilled out is in the middle of the drill bit. But that is not what I'm curious about. What I care most about is to see how well our tape idea worked. Oh, she's gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, I think with a little bit of sanding, like this is pretty good. So we're gonna tape some more spots and we're gonna drill some more holes. So what I'm thinking, because of how annoying it is to drill these holes, we're probably not gonna do that many. And they're gonna be more like polka dots, but like light polka dotting. Okay? Also, not sure how conventional it is to hold the thing you're working on with your feet. Okay, so we've got ourselves some holes. Right there you can see like tear out. Okay, so I've got the sander here. It's just this little hand sander. I don't know what grit sandpaper's on it right now. I may be an upcycler, but I don't get caught up in all the logistics of things. And I'm not a woodworker, so I don't know, I know you're supposed to go from very coarse to very fine. I don't use that coarse of a sandpaper, and I don't really use, like the finest sandpaper either. Also, I told you about the dogs walking in the video, okay? I warned you. So for anyone who's distracted by that, I'm actually kind of sorry. It's kind of annoying to me too, but I love them. And this is their house too. Moving on. I'm going to go ahead and just run through this sanding. So this is what it's looking like right now. It's actually taking quite a bit of the stain and the finish off, which is nice, because then I'll have a clean surface to put the stain over the top. I'm the laziest upcycler there ever was, but she doesn't look too bad. So we'll get to the hand sanding part, and I'm kind of feeling pretty lazy. So I think we're gonna kind of leave this little patchy moment on here and see what happens when we put the stain back on, because that'll be fun. I have this sanding block here that I've used for a long time now. And then I have some nicer sandpaper, but I don't have a sanding block that you would normally put your sandpaper in if you were doing hand sanding. I've invented just wrapping your sandpaper around here, and boom, you got yourself a hand sanding block. And also water gloves. Don't know, wasn't raised on them. And so just a quick disclaimer, if you do upcycle at home, just letting you know, I am by no means telling you to do it without any safety precautions. This is just how I happen to do things. And Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that I'm not wearing the goggles you got me, but I'm just not ready for YouTube to see that. Maybe next video. Okay, let's get to it. Maybe instead of staining the feet, we could do something fun to them, because it would just be kind of boring if it still looked like a coffee table base. I don't know. We'll think about it. But also, and that's why you wear a dust mask. Okay. Okay. My idea for going about the resin portion of this project is to tape off the inner part of the coffee table base using Scotch shipping tape as a recommendation from an experienced resin user. And we're gonna go ahead and just rub that with a ruler, something to make sure that the tape is completely sealed so that none of the resin leaks out and causes a disaster. So that I can do the resin pour in one go, all 8 holes. I'm going to tape off this part and then that part, which is so for the resin, I have what's called ice resin. It's a jeweler's grade resin, so it is not supposed to yellow over time, which is a fantastic quality in resin. I also have quite a few alcohol inks here. Got all the colors of the rainbow. I also bought this little silicone set from Amazon just so that I don't waste any cups and it makes it easier to measure the resin. Another disclaimer, you're supposed to do this in a well-ventilated area. It is advised to use protection equipment. Again, I'm just winging it. I don't suggest you do this at home. Don't take this as a how-to video. This is more of a how-I video, okay? I'm gonna mix the resin up. I'm gonna pour it in there. Then I'm gonna get you a closer look and we're gonna try the alcohol inks. The resin has since cured. And of course, there's a few issues. Right off the bat, you can see here that the color from the alcohol inks has bled into the wood, but we saw that happening as soon as I did the alcohol ink. Another issue is that the red alcohol ink, for some reason, did not set in the resin, so it never dried. And when I went to check it, red ink just got everywhere. It got on my favorite pants. It was a whole thing. Nevertheless, the red alcohol ink never dried. So right here, it's just like a bubble on top of the resin, which is very strange, but we're gonna have to live with that. Now that's fine. It's fine that the color bled in, whatever, it's fine. It held fine on the back. The tape actually worked out. Except on the other side, because I was trying to be efficient in the resin process, I was inefficient in the fact that the tape actually bubbled over. So the wood's here and then there's a bubble of resin, which means it's going to require quite a bit of sanding to flatten out, which is fine on this side because it's on the inside of the table and who cares, nobody's going to see that. But on the other side, it's a bit problematic because it requires a lot of sanding, and then to polish the resin is a little bit annoying. So I'll show you. It's raised. The resin is raised above the wood. So on this side, it's not just a matter of sanding off the ink, it's a matter of sanding the resin off of the wood, which is unfortunate. So if I were to go back in time, I would have just done one resin side and then flipped it on the edge and poured the resin from this side instead of the inside, so that any resin that leaked, I wouldn't have to sand off. So we're gonna go ahead and try to sand that off, which is annoying, and we'll see how well that works. After tons of sanding, this is where we've come. I sanded even further than just the resin. I went from 60 grit to 80 grit. Unfortunately, I don't have anything higher than that, so we're just gonna make do. As you can see, the resin has lost its clarity, but I have a few ideas for solutions to this, and we're gonna postpone that process of the project. For now, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start staining. Now, originally, I planned to stain it close to this brown blonde color. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that stain anywhere in my house. So we're gonna improvise, and instead I'm going to use black stain. So I have wood finish in true black here. The only reason I'm opposed to staining it black is that I think we're gonna lose some of the wood grain which then makes me think, well, why didn't I just paint it? But I don't paint it because I'm not a talented painter and there wouldn't be any fun designs or anything. So that's why I usually resort to staining things when I upcycle wood projects. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get going on the stain process, and I'm just going to use this little brush that I have. I bought it a while back and it said it was good for stains, so we're gonna use it. Normally I would prefer to use a foam brush applicator, but I'm out of those, so we're gonna make do. The theme of this project, making do, but that is what upcycling is about, because nothing's perfect in upcycling. The coffee table that we started with wasn't perfect, and I like to keep a few of those imperfections because it's true to the piece. Once again, this is one of those safety things that don't do it how I do it how you're advised to do it by safety people, because basically, don't try this at home, kids, because I am not your safety guide. I am simply just showing you how I upcycle things, and I am not in any shape or form suggesting that you do it this way. This is what we have after staining, and I have decided to go ahead and paint the leg portions of this white, so let's do that now. Okay everybody, as you can see, I finished painting the legs white. Now I'd like to try something a little risky, and I want to see if I can use the alcohol inks to create a rainbow drip effect. We're gonna see how that goes. If it completely fails, we'll have to paint over it or something, but we're gonna try, because that's what upcycling is about, trying. Also, if anybody cares, I got paint on my daily leggings. These are like the only leggings that I own. Ripped my leggings. Okay, let's give it a shot. Just as a precaution, I put wax paper underneath all the legs. I don't know if that's gonna help anything. I just don't want to get alcohol ink on my canvas everywhere. It would be a huge mess. Oh, okay, that kind of looks like blood. Creepy. Honestly, this is looking pretty cool so far. I'm impressed with myself. I don't know about you guys. Yes, I know the colors of the rainbow. Be impressed. This is looking dope. Okay, one more blue stripe here. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. The alcohol ink dried overnight. Now what I'd like to go ahead and do is add a top coat, and I'm going to use a clear satin finish so it will protect the stain and the alcohol ink, but it won't be super glossy. While we wait for the top coat to dry, I'm ready to put our cushion together. So I went to Joann's. I found, of course, this pretty white fluffy fabric to complement our colorful white legs. And we have our plywood that we got from Home Depot cut to size already, as well as our foam from Joann's cut to size. The basic plan is to lay the plywood down, put the foam on top, lay the fabric on top, and staple the fabric to the plywood. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try that out. We've got our fabric laid down. Next, we need to put the cushion on top. Just going to make sure that it is sitting evenly and that both sides reach over. Next, we're going to throw the plywood on top. One concern I'm having at the moment is that because the plywood is the same size as the foam, when I wrap it over obviously you can still feel the plywood here on the edge, which is duh, but I'm concerned that when you sat on the bench, you could hurt yourself on the plywood. And the only way I would know is if I pretend sat on it. But I can't do that because that's wet. Okay, well, we'll just have to tell people when they sit on it to be careful. A key part to stapling for the staple gun is make a wincing face when you do it. Here we go. Folding like a present. Good. And over. I have everything stapled. Let's flip it over and see what it looks like. How's she look? Nice. Not bad. Okay, so we've got our cushion finished. It's time to attach the bottom half of this coffee table to our cushion so that we can officially call this thing a bench. And I am so excited that the project is coming to an end. I'm just going to attach it using the pocket holes that were already existing that kept the original top of the table onto this base. Let's do it. Ta-da! Our bench is completed. It is so fluffy, it is so soft. I could not be happier. I appreciate everyone who stuck it through to the end of this video. This was definitely a long project. Check out UniCommunity on Instagram to see the final pictures of our bench. Thanks everybody. Bye. Hi everybody. I'm Mackenzie. Okay. Can you see that? Look at that. A hole. Oh, I can't get it. A hole. Okay. Moving on. First, oh. Okay. Look at that. Wood. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure you're recording over there and move on to the other side. Whoa. Did you see me trip? Love that. Okay, moving on. And so when I put my, fancy pantsy sandpaper over the top of this, it fits perfectly in here and it's just working goldenly. Nobody says that, so I'm sorry that I did. This was mistake number one. Oh. Did anyone just see that? Let's do it. We're gonna do it. Well, I'm gonna do it and you're gonna watch. Yeah, that was, sorry that I said that. 2 is to paint a thin layer of resin. So like you can see, well you can't see, but you can see on the legs of this table that it has quite a bit. Okay, because this is YouTube and this is real life. Well, it's not because it's YouTube, but this is real. This is YouTube. So for you this week, my UniCommunity, can we call you that? Can I call you that? Is it okay if I call you that? Would you guys mind? Comment down below if you don't mind being called the UniCommunity. Because it's fun to say. And I don't know.